Transport used to import food into the UK adds over 1.90 million tonnes of carbon dioxide atmosphere year annually. UK's carbon footprint increases. Further travelled, higher food miles, higher emissions. Other aspects of food production add to UK's carbon footprint. Carbon dioxide produce food grown, harvested, for example. Farm machines harvest crops, or where greenhouses are heated. Food contributes 17% total UK CO2 emissions, but 11% linked to transport. Transport emissions, kilogram CO2 equivalents per tonne kilometres. So types of transport: long haul air, 1,762, short haul air, 0.733, road, 0.1, rail, 0.037, water, 0.038. Emissions created producing food product create higher emissions, those imported from overseas. Tomatoes, less carbon emissions transported to UK from Spain that does heat in the greenhouse from in the UK. Actual emissions produced by different forms of transport used in transporting food also needs to be taken into account when looking at food miles and carbon footprints. Another change to UK's youth habits, demand for organic produce, meat, fruit, vegetables produced by organic farming, type of farming which does not include these chemicals and pesticides, fertilisers. Demand for organic produce rising since the early 1900s. People increasingly concerned about the effect of what they eat on their health. Organic food is believed to be healthier than non-organic food. In a survey, the main reasons for choosing organic food were fewer chemical pesticides, natural and processed, healthier. Organic farming. Animals are farmed without the use of antibiotics. Hormones increase growth are not used. Protecting environment and wildlife. Natural predators used to control pests. Soil fertility maintained by rotating crops. Natural fertilisers are used such as green manure. Weeds controlled by mechanical weeding. Chemical weed killers not used. So food miles, the distance covered by supplying food to consumers. Organic farming, food grown and harvested without the use of chemicals such as fertilisers and pesticides. Population increased since 1960. Food consumption increased. UK can't sustain food supply, feeding population, therefore has to import food from other areas of the world, meeting increasing food demand. People consume more exotic food, cannot grow in the UK climate, get more varied diet, different more exotic foods being imported from other countries where it grows to meet the demand, and also seasonal food all year for the first one. So the second one was one of a trend in UK food consumption. Environmental impacts from importing, travel overseas, carbon emitting to UK, large volumes, further away, more CO2 emitted, apples travel far, longer food miles emits more CO2, higher carbon footprint, reduced food miles grown in the UK. Farming practices since 1960 changed, more pesticides, artificial fertilisers, mass-produced food, food-grown population, speeds up growth food production to demand of food, meet it. So UK imports 40% of its food. UK food expensive. Prices of animal feeds, poor harvests, workers, demand for more varied and exotic food. So lamb, apples, mangoes, beef and prawns travel a longest way. Produce seeds little, poor countries, value of money is higher, and the importer, handler, transport, packer, exporter are paid by the supermarket when buying the goods. UK dealing with high portion of imports by sourcing from local produce. Agribusiness, intensive farming aimed at maximising the amount of local food produce produced commercially. High levels of investment on technology and